Washington. A joke President Trump made about Pearl Harbor during a high-stakes diplomatic meeting at the White House on Thursday sent shockwaves through Japan on Friday, igniting a fierce public debate over the state of one of America's most important Pacific alliances. The remark came during Trump's Oval Office meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, convened to discuss trade, investment, and regional security. When a reporter asked why Japan had not been given advance notice of the recent U.S. military strike on Iran, the president offered a response that few in the room, and far fewer in Japan, found amusing.
"We wanted surprise," Trump said, glancing toward Takaichi. "Who knows better about surprise than Japan, okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor, okay, right?" There was scattered laughter from officials and journalists gathered in the room. Prime Minister Takaichi, however, did not laugh. She sat with her arms crossed, widened her eyes, and glanced toward a Japanese reporter in the press pool. She said nothing. In Japan, the reaction was swift and largely damning. The attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, which killed more than 2,400 Americans and drew the United States into World War II, remains a deeply sensitive chapter of history on both sides of the Pacific. For the Japanese public, the memory is inseparable from the nation's devastating wartime defeat and the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki that followed. Toru Tamagawa, a prominent commentator on TBSI, told viewers on a Friday morning program that Trump's comment revealed what he described as an unpleasant side of President Trump. His remarks were emblematic of the broader tone of Japanese media coverage, which ranged from disbelief to anger. Scholars and historians were particularly pointed in their criticism. Several academics who study U.S. Japan relations told domestic news outlets that invoking Pearl Harbor, a symbol of military treachery in American memory and of wartime shame in Japan, was a reckless and unnecessary provocation, however casually intended.
Some of the most pointed criticism in Japan was directed not at Trump, but at Prime Minister Takaichi herself. Japanese politicians and commentators across the political spectrum questioned why she had remained silent in the Oval Office, arguing that her failure to respond, even with a gentle rebuke, reflected poorly on Japan's diplomatic standing. Opposition lawmakers were quick to demand an explanation from Takaichi's government. Some called on her to raise the matter directly with Washington and seek a formal clarification of the president's intent. Her office had not commented publicly by the time Japanese morning programs aired. Beyond the offense caused by the remark itself, analysts warned that the episode could have a chilling effect on the broader U.S.-Japan relationship, which both countries have worked for decades to cultivate. Japan is one of the United States' closest allies in Asia and a cornerstone of American strategic posture in the Pacific, particularly amid growing concerns about China and North Korea. Thursday's meeting had been billed as an opportunity to reaffirm those ties and discuss Japanese investment in the United States. Those goals were largely overshadowed by the controversy that followed. Whether the episode fades quickly or leaves a lasting mark on the relationship may depend in part on whether the White House moves to address it and whether Takaichi's government presses the issue at home. For now, at least, the joke is no laughing matter in Tokyo.